Hello, guys. Welcome back again to our show. It's been a very, very great day of Group G and Group H games. Brazil in action, Portugal in action, Cameroon in action, Ghana in action. All these guys were able to get positive results from their games. And today we're going to look into what these groups are looking like. And boy, oh boy, tell me about it, that it is becoming more interesting. The last group games of this particular World Cup is the best that I think we would have seen since World Cup history. So let's crack into it right away. Welcome to the show, Shakil.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say this is the second game of the groups, and there are a lot of groups that still needs to be finalized, but we do know now that Portugal and Brazil have made it. So yeah, today was a big day for two of these teams to move forward into the next round of football.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, if you look at what has happened in the other groups, this is a very strange World Cup, not because of the political stuff, but what's happening on the field itself. I don't care about the other stuff, but what's happening on the field, once the ball rolls, it becomes a different ball game. Look at, there are 8 groups, right? And of these 8 groups, how many teams have qualified for the second round? Brazil, Portugal, France. Which other teams?
There's so many other teams. There's so many, like we talked about in the Champions League, that it doesn't happen often that it's decided on the last day. And there are so many teams, their fates are going to be decided in the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, basically, it's interesting, and that is
which makes it really memorable, because then fans enjoy it. It's worth it for them to come all the way to watch their team play for their country.
It's funny that even those that have been knocked out, let's say, for example, Canada, they will be very instrumental to the qualification of a team like Morocco. Canada will be playing for pride, but again, Morocco will be playing to qualify. So it will be, well, I don't even know how to describe it. Just have to be patient and see how the games come by. So let's look into what happened today. Today, Cameroon started. Cameroon played Serbia. It was, I watched the game. It was very early in the morning here, and I've not been getting enough sleep, boys. I mean, it's just because of this World Cup, but it happens only once in 4 years. And I think maybe this is the last time I'm going to have an experience like this of not being able to, get enough sleep prior to watching the games and every other thing that follows after it. But
this is my first time in my life. I was going to say, this is my first time in my life that I actually watched all the games. I usually don't watch.
I mean, it's exciting that what's going on here. So Serbia and Cameroon started. I was watching this game, and Cameroon were down by 3-1. Who will tell you on earth that Cameroon will come back to tie this game? And even we're looking forward to, win the game itself. If not for me, I think at some point the Cameroonian team became a little bit selfish in terms of playing the pass to the teammate that is just right there waiting to tap it in. He wants to dribble extra, take on the first man, take on the second man, and then loses it to the third man. It's, again, when I saw Serbia score their goals, they were very unselfish. One of the goals that Mitrovic scored, it was an unselfish approach to scoring goals. I think Cameroon should be able to do that, besides the horrible experience that's already going on in their camp with their first choice goalkeeper. Did you hear anything about that, Shaq?
No, I actually, again, I didn't watch this game. What's going on in their camp?
So their first choice goalkeeper said that he disagrees with the head coach on the way.
Right, I think I've heard, I think he has been let go.
Yeah, I mean, for him, I think that will be his last World Cup for his career. Except he comes back and apologizes to the head coach. The head coach is a legend of Cameroonian football, and he played in the World Cup. He played in the AFCON. He played at a very top level of the game. So, I mean, it was the wrong timing for the goalkeeper
Yes.
to come and to say that. Allow if you have anything to suggest, this doesn't have to lead you to disagree that you cannot play the way they want you. A coach tells you the way he wants you to play. You don't tell the coach how you want the team to play. If you want to tell the coach how you want the team to play, you better go start your own team and then coach that team the way you want them to play.
I mean, it happened with Cristiano Ronaldo. So who are you? Yeah, it's coach's job to. I mean, we don't want to get into the nitty gritty of what happened with Cristiano, but again, it's that's how it's structured. You listen to what your coach says.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, his World Cup dreams are over. He can't play anymore. Cameroon still has a chance to qualify if they beat Brazil. That's a very, very difficult task to achieve. It's a very, very big one because, yes, Brazil has qualified, but again, potential champions would want to keep momentum going. So I don't know how that's going to work out.
It's the same as if South Korea beat, not the same, South Korea versus Portugal, right? That's the game.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, there are some games that it's hard to, even though they've qualified, they're not gonna be easy.
Exactly. So we'll look out for that game and what happens. And yeah, the next game that followed was same group where Brazil played Switzerland. What a game that was.
That was a good game. There was Brazil, and this game, actually, we've talked about this, like it goes all the way to 70th minute mark. This was a bit later. I think it was 80th. Yes. Yeah, but it was a very equal game. I wouldn't say possession wise it was equal because Brazil had more possession, but Switzerland were playing well. They had
yes, they were on top of their game. They had moments, but again, what's about with Vinicius Jr? They should carry out a doping test on that lad. He never stops running.
Running, yes.
He never gets running.
He never gets out of breath.
I think he's the most confident Brazilian player on the pitch. He takes you on and he just sprints away from you. I was like, what? And 70th minute, 80th minute, 85th minute, he kept going.
He can sprint really fast, yes.
Oh my goodness. Even the goal that he scored, he had a very brilliant performance, honestly speaking. And I think
speaking of that, Rodrigo is younger than Vinicius, and he cannot run as fast as Rodrigo. I
mean,
sorry, Rodrigo cannot run as fast.
No, he cannot run. No, because I think Vinicius is wired differently. He's got speed in his veins. Yeah. He is built to be a sprinter.
Oh, we saw him in last Champions League. He one goal. I don't remember who did he score against, but
against Man City. Don't forget about that.
For Man City, he scored all the way from the half goal line and scored it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I really appreciate Brazilian football. They just play their style, and I think they're the only team that has a style, and they keep to their style in the national team. My problem, I was watching Cameroon, I was watching Ghana. They don't play an African style of football, which involves speed on the flanks, on the wings, and crossing the ball. That's what Brazil do. Brazil don't have the best midfielders like Modric and Kovacic. You look at their central midfielders, you have Casemiro, and then you had Fred, and Fred was substituted, and then Guimaraes came in. These guys are not Luka Modric. They are not like all those, these midfielders we have these days, like Kevin De Bruyne, but they keep their style. Their style is direct, forward. They don't have time to passing around with you.
It's not the same as 2002 Brazil or 98 Brazil. No.
Yes, different. Very, very different. These guys are different now. But anyway, congratulations to Brazil for making it to the second round. And as well, what do you think about the last group games of this group?
Oh, South Korea and Ghana?
No.
Or are you talking about
Group G? Group G. We're talking about Cameroon and Brazil. Switzerland and Serbia would be a tough game because any winner there can go through.
Yeah, so Switzerland is number 15 and Serbia is 21. So yeah, they're toe-to-toe. It's going to be a very close game. If I have to give, I would give Switzerland, But Serbia, again, it's going to be a very close game.
I think I'm going to give it to Serbia. If Serbia wins that game, because I don't know how Cameroon is going to come up against Brazil. I would want Cameroon to qualify, but because of the opposition that they'll be playing, I don't know the mentality that Brazil will be coming into that game with. So that makes it a very difficult task for Cameroon. Nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing. That's Adidas. But again, I don't really know how Cameroon will come up, because there were a lot of lapses in their game. Honestly speaking, there are a lot of lapses in their game against Serbia. They could have considered a lot of goals too, but yes, still they took advantage of this of the Serbian high pressing, counter attack, scored goals thanks to VAR. 1 inch you're not offside, but 1 inch you can also be offside. So yeah. But that's all about Group G. Let's look at Group H, the last group in this World Cup here, which involved Portugal going toe-to-toe against Uruguay and Ghana playing Korea Republic. I watched the Korea Republic-Ghana game.
I was going to say one thing about Ghana is that they score a lot of goals. They've scored 2 goals last game and now 3 goals. Yeah, they know how to score a lot of goals.
They can score goals. They are very talented players. Kudus that plays for Ajax Amsterdam, and then the Ayew brothers, Andre Ayew that is now playing in Qatar, used to play in the Premier League, and then his younger brother Jordan that plays for Crystal Palace. They have a very good front line that can score goals. Yeah, Thomas Partey in the midfield, pulling strings there in the midfield, but again, they concede goals. And today they were resolute in defending. I will give it to them because they considered 2 goals from crosses, and then Korea just kept putting in crosses.
Yeah, till the very end of the game, they just kept putting in crosses. Yes.
I mean, and again, I will say kudos to the Ghanaian coach who saw some lapses, from the left wing. He made some changes, removed Tariq Lamptey, because he was getting
bombarded,
bombarded, overloaded, on the right as a right back, and then. But they were resolute. So congratulations to Ghana for picking up their first 3 points. After losing to Portugal in the manner in which they lost, but again, they score goals, as you said. So their game against Uruguay in the last group game will be a repetition, a replay.
Yeah, a lot of goals.
Of the 2010 quarterfinals where they lost to Uruguay. But we'll see. There's no player from the 2010 World Cup that is still playing in the Ghanaian national. No, I think their captain is still there, but he was a young player at that time. But anyway, so Korea, Ghana came on top. Let's look at Portugal and Uruguay. What do you make of that game?
Oh, Uruguay. We've discussed about Uruguay before the start of the tournament. I thought Uruguay is going to be a good team. They had good chances. They hit the post. And 1 goal, I think Bentancur had tried and saved by the keeper. It was a great save. I think it was more than save. Bentancur should have finished it wisely. He had so much time and space, and he didn't. But I think once Uruguay still had the chance to come back 1-0 down. But when the penalty was awarded, it was game over.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think that was a penalty, Shaq?
No.
Why?
Because we have seen penalties not being awarded in the same position in Premier League, like when they're going down and their hand touches, they don't give it. So it's a very ambiguous situations. And what happened is they let the referee on the field decide. So it was on him. There was VAR just identified. They didn't make a decision. Then again, it was on the referee. So it's very personalized. So It depends.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was again. I was listening to commentary, and it's like some agreed that it was a penalty. Some said it was not because he didn't know where his hands were. But again, he stopped the movement of the ball going to where it should be going to, and peradventure that was why the penalty was given. What do you think about? What do you make about Ronaldo's celebration when he did not score?
I don't know. The poor Ronaldo. I think he's. Yeah, we can do an episode on Ronaldo. Ronaldo has a very big ego, and I don't know. He just wants to score goals, and he just thought that even though a lot of other pundits have said only Ronaldo knows if he did touch or not. So yeah,
I think it brushed off his hair, but it
yeah, just hair.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did
it
not
didn't change
touch
the
his
course
head.
of the
Yes.
direction. Yeah, it just brushed off his hair, but it didn't change the course of the direction of the ball, which peradventure that was why it was awarded to Bruno. Bruno was outstanding today.
Oh,
I've not seen Bruno play this top football before, even in Premier League. The way he ran, the way he conducted the midfield. Portugal is a team that we should not overlook. They have talent. Bernardo Silva is an unbelievable player.
He's unbelievable. Yes.
He is. I don't know how to classify that midfield.
The way he reads game, and I think he's a very, very vital player in Man City as well, because he's like the backbone, KDB and him.
Yes.
They control the entire. He goes back all the way, and then he comes forward, and then
yes.
What I like about him, like he's not he's one of the midfielders who can turn both sides. I have seen even Switzerland and Uruguay, their midfielders, when they start moving on one side, they just keep running on one side. They don't even notice because usually the other side is empty.
Yeah, it's
because
great.
the defenders are trying to press you in one way. Usually the other side is, but Bernardo Silva has very good awareness.
I mean, honestly speaking, he is for me one of the best midfielders, and I think that we underrate Bernardo Silva. Forget it, even in Manchester City, because we think Kevin De Bruyne is the whole and in all, but Kevin De Bruyne does not drop deep the way this guy drops deep in between the center backs, and it's not even a holding midfielder, which in some normal circumstances it's a holding midfielder that drops deep into that position to get the ball and to play that. But Bernardo Silva roams the whole pitch and he never gets tired. His level of concentration is very, very high. Whether it's in the 60th, 70th, and 80th minute, he still keeps high concentration level in the game. So I think that's one of the best talents that Portugal have in their team that is pushing that team forward. So we're going to see how it goes in the next round since they have now qualified. Now to wrap up this episode here, let's talk about let's take down our predictions on what's going to happen in the next phase of games. Tomorrow, the last group game starts. Thank God it's not going to be by 5 o'clock again in the morning or by 4 a.m. here.
Oh, it changes tomorrow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
10 and 2. Okay.
That's correct. So the Netherlands play
Oh, they want to keep the time at the same time so that none of the team has advantage. Okay.
Yes, there's no match fixing. That's one of the reasons why they do that.
Right.
So Qatar, Netherlands, Ecuador, Senegal. Who qualifies from that group? Seeing that all can still qualify except Qatar.
Yeah. I would, of course, New Holland is going to qualify because it's easy. Ecuador, Senegal, I would still give Ecuador. Senegal has been weak.
Yeah. I mean, I would say yes, Netherlands will go forward. I'm an African. I'm going to support Senegal no matter what happens there. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And England, Wales, Iran, United States. That's a blockbuster tie tomorrow.
Oh, I don't know if you've heard. There's a controversy already about Iran. I don't know if you know the flag thing.
Yes, I saw that. I don't know what.
I think it's gonna be very entertaining. slash
shedding of
yeah.
blood on the pitch.
Could be. You never know. The fans can be provoking and
Yeah.
that kind of things. Yeah.
Players coming in with machete under their shin pads.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, every time things get political, then it's never a good outcome. People get riled up, and I know you saw today what happened at the pitch. Like, it's started to happen now. It's sad, but
yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, what's your prediction on the games?
I would give it to Iran. Iran will win.
Yeah, I think so. I think Iran will win. Wales, England.
Oh, Wales are crying about the Iran situation. I think they mocked Iran, not mocked, but they were saying that Iran is easy because England beat them, and then I think it's gonna be England for sure. Wales
I think Wales are weak. It will be a miracle. It will be a miracle if Wales beat England, because if Wales beat England, England might not qualify depending on the number of goals considered. But anyway, I will give it to England. I don't see Wales doing anything. I think England will punish Wales for how weak they have been in the tournament, except something else happens. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for you from now. And we'll be back tomorrow by God's grace. We hope to see you again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Bye.